This is Valerie.
And this is Jacinta.
And you're listening to Catholics, a Catholic podcast by millennials for millennials.
Thanks for tuning in. Hello, and welcome back to another installment of Catholics podcast with Valerie and Jacinta. I always lean in.
And it's funny because the speaker's over here behind you. She was leaning into the computer this time, but the microphone was behind her.
Always an adventure.
It's always an adventure here, folks.
Yeah. So this week, we're glad to be back. It's a sunny week in St. Louis.
Yes, it is. It's heated up again. It's hot again. It's like
humid.
You know, if you've seen that, have you seen the graphic that's like the 11 seasons of the Midwest?
I have not. No.
Oh, it's funny. If you've seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. I wish I had it on me, but it's like winter.
Mm-hmm.
Fall, spring, second winter, fake spring, like, because we just get all these random seasons, right? So right now we are what would be called, like last week was false fall. You know, it was that fake fall where you're like, it's fall.
It's
and
fall.
This week,
Psych.
It's second summer again, which...
Is there more than a second summer? Or is there like...
Nope,
just second.
Second summer normally lasts about a week.
Okay. And
I
then
can't decide if
fall.
this is actually it or not. You just never know.
Yeah.
I think this is second summer. I think we're easing into fall here.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. Fingers crossed.
Folks. I was down in Oklahoma this week, and this weekend, visiting the fam, and it was really in the 70s. It was nice, which is crazy, because usually the farther south you go, the more hot it gets.
I spent a summer in Oklahoma, and it was like
hot as
living in the devil's armpit.
That sounds accurate.
It was bad.
Yeah.
I was in this little town called Idabel, and there was a mistake on the news. Shortly after we returned, the weatherman, the number said like 1,450 degrees, and I was like, sounds about right. I don't think it's wrong. Because it was so hot in Idabel.
Wow. Yeah. That's sounds pretty accurate for Oklahoma.
Yep.
But, so, with all that...
So bring it on, fall.
Yeah, bring it on, man. Bring it on.
That's right.
So, yeah.
I'm done with summer.
Samesies. I've heard it's a pretty fall here. I've not experienced
it can be
in St. Louis.
It can be.
That worries me.
Well, you
that
just
sounds
never
like
know.
It could go south.
It could. There's been years where it's literally like 80, and then it'll get to 75, and all of a sudden it's like December 1st, and you're like, where did fall go? And then all of a sudden it's just 30, and you're like, okay, that's great.
Wow.
There's
and
years there.
Like
there are years. There's
cold.
2 seasons here: winter and summer.
It's extreme.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, if you're from St. Louis, or really anywhere in the Midwest, I mean,
yeah.
Missouri, Illinois, you feel me.
For sure. But we're not here to talk about the weather. We're here to talk about treating ourselves. Self-care.
Self-care, which only part of it is treat yourself, Jacinta.
That's
part
true.
Of it is treat yourself. We'll get
into that. But in life, it's easy to get burnt out. It's easy to just be going.
Yeah.
I mean...
And let me just say, we sound like millennials to the core right now talking about self-care. But again, we're not just going to talk about treating yourself like us millennials do. We'll talk about that. Because
we're talking about it in the truest sense.
But we're talking about it in the truest sense.
Mind, body, and spirit.
Mind, body, and spirit.
Exactly. So it's easy to get burnt out, to be going nonstop, and to just say yes to a lot of things.
Yep.
I know this.
We talked about overcommitment and undercommitment. Kind of ties back into that episode.
Yeah.
It's one of my faves.
Episode...
Go back. It's like episode 3 or 4, I think. Like
it's early
on.
It's
way back in our wee baby days.
Early days.
Which, by the way, this is episode 11. So
double digits.
We've made it for 11 weeks now, y'all.
Yay!
Anyway.
Hopefully one day we'll be to like episode 70.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. And then we will have talked about
this time next year. We would almost be there.
If we keep doing it every week.
Every week.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Digressing a little bit. But
if you've been with us.
Leaning back in.
If you've been with us this long, you know we digress. But
exactly.
Self-care, millennials, all the things.
Overcommitting. Saying yes to too many things.
Yes.
I have a friend who told me that he says yes to, like, he's a very generous person, and he gives his time to a lot of people.
Sure. Which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, he found that he was in a state of depression because of that.
Yeah.
Because he had just been doing for others so much, which is noble and beautiful.
Absolutely.
And he had talked to somebody about that, actually spiritual counselor, and they were like, well, I would start to feel that way too if I was just doing things for other people all the time.
All the time.
So there's got to be a balance in that. And that's where self-care comes in, and taking a step back from the craziness of life and the demands of our family life and our social life, and really finding what is it that makes us full, and what is it that will help fill our cup back up, so to speak, so that we can truly give to others. How can we take care of ourselves so that we can give and be effective?
Yes, and like you were saying, your friend found himself in more of a depressive state. And we do live in a culture which struggles with mental illness a lot in a variety of forms, which, again, you can argue that maybe it always has and no one talked about it. And I'm not just saying it's a brand new thing. It's not.
Right.
But I do think a lot of people are struggling with it and have always struggled with it some people for that reason. Not everyone. But I think a lot of times some of that comes out of self-care and not practicing self-care.
Yeah.
That puts you in an anxious state. You know, I find myself getting anxious or depressed when I'm
Anxiety
not
is
taking care of myself.
Such a high... and
there's so many levels of that.
Sure.
You know, we use anxiety on a whole spectrum of things. And there's people that have severe, like, you know, debilitating anxiety that they can't
even get out of bed in the morning or something.
And then there's some people that struggle with it a little bit and just have this eerie, like, feeling inside of them that just they can't, you know, something wrestles inside of them. And, you know, wherever you're on the spectrum, sometimes you find yourself getting there.
I don't know why I'm laughing at that.
Because you haven't taken care of yourself.
Right.
In some way.
Exactly. And that's where prayer comes in, and the sacraments, and
sitting
with the Lord. And we all have different levels or different types of spirituality. For me, I know that I feel off, and if I've been traveling too much and I can't get to Mass, I feel like I'm more centered when I'm able to get to Mass in the morning.
Right. Yeah. So that ties into kind of we were talking about the 3 different types of self-care. I guess kind of fourth, if you treat yourself as kind of this fourth.
The extra part.
The extra little part to it. But you have mind, you have body, and you have spirit. So go ahead and keep talking about, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you're kind of talking about spirit right now. So go ahead and let's just start there. I think that's a great place to start, because so often your spirit, I think, gets left off of the self-care table.
Yeah.
It doesn't get discussed as often.
Totally. So, like, there's this thing that we need to strive for, like, called greatness.
Holiness. Sanctification.
Yeah. Like, that's what we're made for.
Right.
You know? And whenever I'm not striving for greatness, whenever I'm being lazy, not making it to Mass, whenever things get off, like, I put people before God, which happens.
Right. Or things.
I'm like, I put people before my prayer life.
Right.
Yeah. Whenever those things are off, I'm like, ugh. Like, I feel like, what am I even doing with my life? Like, I'm not even, like, accomplished, which isn't true, but it's like, I'm not being all that I've been created to be.
Right, your equilibrium's off in that way.
Exactly. Yeah, Pope Benedict XVI says the world offers you comfort, but you're not made for comfort, you were made for greatness.
Yes.
One of my favorite quotes by him. Shout out to Pope Benny.
Yes. I was actually just going to ask you about that quote, because we referenced it at the beginning.
In the early days.
We did.
Back in the day.
Earlier at the beginning of this summer, we referenced that quote too, and it's clearly just going to keep coming up, because it's important.
It's importante. Yeah, so there's this need to strive for greatness, and with that, for me, once Mass is off track, everything else goes out of whack.
Right.
Then I'm not, like, cognizantly thinking about, like, even my diet. I know that sounds weird, but it's like, oh, well, I'll just, like, I'm running here, there, and everywhere, so I'll just grab something quick. And it's just, like, even when you make choices about your diet, like, that throws you off. I know it does for me.
Right, yeah. That's like, the body aspect of it.
So just, like, all of it is rooted in this need to be, like, united with God, ultimately.
Yes.
And if that's off, everything else feels off in my life. And then I just feel like a slob. Right. Essentially. Yeah. I feel like a sloppy millennial that's just living for myself.
I think a slob's a good way to explain it, because I know I feel that same way too. If one of the parts of my spiritual life or the body or the mind, you know, or the spirit, any part of that self-care that we're talking about today, when that gets off, you just feel like a slob. You feel out of whack. You feel off balance. Like,
yeah. You know. And so the past 2 days, I've been waking up at an early time for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what, because other people probably get up way earlier than that, but...
It's true, but that's okay. Early, but you also stay up later, so it's early in your schedule.
Yes, so I get up early, and I've been going to morning mass, and I have felt a million times better. I've been making my daily holy hour and carving that time out for God.
Yep.
And it's just, I feel more centered, and then from that, I'm like, okay, I need to make better eating habits, and then I still haven't gotten back into a normal workout regimen, which I'm trying to do. So, I don't know, you just feel better when all of those things are in place. You feel like you're thriving as a person, and you're able to perform better at work. You're able to enjoy your socializing better. It really just makes a big difference, taking care of all of those aspects of your life.
Right. So, and then, so you kind of started to talk about, and I'll talk about it a little bit too, like the body part of it, which is eating healthy. Yes. And that doesn't mean never eating something bad that you love either. Because self-care is also, if you want an ice cream sometimes, go get an ice cream. Yes. And that falls into the treat yourself category, right? And that's good. Yeah. That's a good thing. But it's not just eating crap all the time. Like you were saying, occasionally you have to run through the drive-thru. But when your life's off balance, you find yourself running and getting crappier food more often than not. And that's when you start to feel kind of crappy.
And you justify it in your mind.
And then you justify it in your mind. And everything just gets off. So, like you said, with your diet, your exercise regimen, that all goes into the body aspect of your self-care. But that also falls into your mind spot too, because like exercising and eating healthy can do wonders for your mental state too. Yes. It just, your body and your mind, that all ties together. I mean, and so does your soul. Your body, mind, and soul are all connected.
All unified.
Again, that's theology.
We're not
that's
separated.
Theology of the body.
It's theology of the body! Which we need to do an episode on, like, yesterday. We keep coming
back to this.
Yes. We will.
We're getting there. But
we're just ramping it up.
Yeah, so we have all these aspects. We're just building it, and we're talking about different parts of it.
Everything's going to be culminated huge culmination. Theology of the body episode, and it's going to be amazing.
And then we're going to be like, what do we do with our podcast? We talked about theology of the body.
I know, we're like, well, that's it. That's everything.
End of Catholic scene.
Bye.
No, but yeah, so you have all these three parts of self-care, each one being very important. And like you said, if you fall off balance on one of them, you start to unbalance yourself on the other ones.
Yeah. And yeah. No, totally. I get that.
Yeah.
And as you were saying, like, we are integrated mind, body, and spirit.
We are.
So we don't need to take care of part of ourselves. Like, we can't just take care of, like, our soul and be like, not care about how we eat or, like, exercising and stuff like that. We have to take care of all of us.
Yes.
Just like the John Legend song. All of me. It's kind of different, but loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges. Yeah. All your perfect
You could rewrite that song about self-care.
I could. Yeah, I think that's what maybe we should. It for. Maybe.
Yeah, that's actually one of my not really a hidden talent, because I don't want to say that I'm that good at it.
Ooh,
but
you rewrite lyrics?
I like rewriting parody songs.
We should do an episode.
Maybe I'll
rewrite John Legend's Self-Care. It's great.
And post it on Insta for you. Anyway, yeah, so there's a balance between your mind, your body, your soul. You have to take care of all of them. And yeah, if you don't take care of all of them, you're going to start to find yourself out of whack in other ones too.
Yes.
And so now let's talk about treat yourself.
Shall we?
Because hashtag treat yourself. So, which stems from
Parks and Rec?
Parks and Recreation, the show. That's right. What two characters go on the Treat Yourself 2011 and then again in Treat Yourself 2017?
I don't know. I only saw season 1 and 2.
Oh, dang. So you didn't even get to the Treat Yourself episode.
Oh, it's in season 4. Yeah.
It's in season 4 and season 7. They do Treat Yourself, Beverly Hills. Anyway, I just watched that episode. Nice. I love Parks and Recreation. But, yes, it's Tom and Donna.
If you haven't seen Parks and Rec, who would you be?
It depends on the day.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like a Leslie.
I could see
Sometimes I feel like an Anne. I think I'm more like Anne majority of the time.
Is that the emo one?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's April. She's so funny.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I definitely have Andy moments, though, where I'm just like, this child. Anyway.
Yeah, that's a
So treat yourself. That saying comes from that show.
Definitely.
So treat yourself would be like getting a pedicure or manicure, a massage, watching Netflix, cooking your favorite meal, taking a nap, you know, or every girl's favorite thing.
Getting your nails done?
No. Retail therapy.
Yeah. Thrifting.
Or thrifting.
Yes. I like my thrifting.
Shopping.
Yes.
So those are all, like, you know, good things to splurge on. Like, they're not bad things. There's nothing wrong with going to get your nails done.
Right.
You know, like, again, there's balance. There's moderation. And there is something to be said about, you know what? I've had a really hard week or a hard month, and I'm going to go get my fingernails done. Like,
exactly.
There's a good thing to that. But then the other part, as we've talked so much about already, is the part I call better yourself.
Better yourself.
We have treat yourself and better yourself.
What's this better yourself?
Better yourself would be the
other
exercise. Things like exercise, eating healthy. I also thought of like, it's not a touchscreen, Jacinta, but nice try.
Oh my gosh!
I have a Mac, and she's like, "Why is this not
Mine
scrolling?"
Mine is a touch screen.
Because hers is a touch screen. That's okay. I forgive you. But then these other things, like I thought of, like listening to empowering music. You know, turning Christian music on that you find really empowering, or even just really empowering, like, you know, maybe there's girl bands that you're just like, this is such an empowering song, whatever that is for you. Reading a book that's motivating, watching a motivating movie, volunteering.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think of that as self-care, but like, if you have time to do it, and again, if it's not another thing piled on top of everything else,
right?
Say you have some open time, volunteering can be a great way to like make yourself feel good and boost your spirits and help the community. Maybe reach out to a friend you haven't talked to in a while. All of those things, too, culminate into self-care. We just don't think of them as often.
Yeah,
because we just think of the treat yourself part.
But they're not thinking of
the other part.
Better yourself.
The better yourself part.
Yes, I like it.
So...
And that's what we're called to. We're called to be saints.
Exactly. So, Jacinta, I'm thinking maybe we should have a better yourself day sometime.
Yes. Maybe tonight when we get sushi. No, that's
a treat yourself. We're having a treat yourself tonight with sushi. No,
we'll do a better yourself one.
We should have a better yourself day.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking because Jacinta just moved to a new apartment.
Yes.
And
we're not going to say where.
No.
I'm just
in the St. Louis area. And when we were moving her in and we went out to dinner, there was this hot yoga place right next to this smoothie place. And I was like, Jacinta, we need to go do hot yoga and get smoothies. So I'm thinking we should have a better yourself Saturday where we go get smoothies. We go do hot yoga. We go to adoration.
I love that.
Right?
That sounds amazing.
Right?
We should do that this weekend.
I'm out of town this weekend.
Oh, okay.
But nice try.
Next weekend.
Yeah. So, like, we should go get... It should be a Saturday. We fill a whole Saturday. We do hot yoga.
Mm-hmm.
We get lunch. We get smoothies. We go to the Basilica.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
we go to do adoration, evening prayer, and mass at the Basilica Saturday night.
Yes. Do you remember we did that?
And it was so awesome.
That was awesome.
So I think we should do that on our Better Yourself Day. And it could be a Better Yourself afternoon, evening.
I love that.
After mass, we can, like, I don't know, do something else we love.
Just do something fun. Go to Bar 360.
That's a lot in one day, homegirl.
It is a lot. Yeah.
I was thinking, like, watch a movie.
Okay, we could watch a movie.
Or, like, go home and go to bed early. Anyway.
Difference in
better
personalities.
Yourself.
Yeah.
So, I think we should have Better Yourself 2019.
2019?
Yeah. Which, again, if you've seen Parks and Rec, it's Treat Yourself 2011.
Oh.
They sing it in this little song that I can't sing very well. But it's good. It's season 4, episode 4, if you want to go watch it. And then
everybody's going to go watch it now.
Season 7, something else, is when they go to Beverly Hills and have Treat Yourself. And their Treat Yourselves are, like, outrageous. I'm not suggesting you do that. Because they're, like, spend as much money as you want the whole entire day and get everything you ever wanted. Saying that's good.
Yeah.
That's not healthy.
That doesn't sound good.
There is a level of treating yourself that is good. Like, we're going to get sushi tonight.
Yes.
That's a good treat yourself.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. So, self-care is
Mind, body,
important.
Spirit.
But
yes.
Remember, it's not just treat yourself. That's a small... Sorry, my dog's barking.
I was like, what was that?
It's not just treat yourself. It's better yourself. Treat yourself just a small part of it. And it's mind, body, and spirit.
Yep.
Hashtag.
The world offers you comfort, but you are not made for comfort.
You were made for greatness.
Become great.
Saints.
Become a saint.
Self-care, folks. It's important.
Amen. So we hope you got something out of this episode. If not, maybe we gave you some ideas for
a Better Yourself Day.
Yeah, a Better Yourself Day.
And if you do a Better Yourself Day, post your pictures on Instagram.
Hashtag Cathaholics.
Either hashtag Cathaholics, but also hashtag Better Yourself.
2019.
Y-O. Better. Y-O. Self. Yourself. Better yourself. Hashtag us that. Hashtag us that. That's another thing. Post your pictures with hashtag Better Yourself. And Jacinta and I will post ours when we do our hot yoga.
Our hot yoga day. Adoration.
And all things.
The Basilica.
And I'm getting really excited for it, so.
We're going to have to put it on the calendar. Otherwise, it's not going to happen.
Yes.
We should
vlog our Better Yourself Day.
Yeah. Sounds amazing.
Maybe sometime. All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode.
All right.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Cathaholics.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Cathaholics. All right. Thanks, guys. Follow us on Instagram at Catholicspodcast.
.com. Oh, no, there's no .com.
No, it's just on Instagram at Cathaholics Podcast.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.